This is Oilersnation Radio, your one-stop shop for everything Oilers. 1 hour of straight hockey talk with Bagged Milk, Tyler, Liam, Rick, and Dan starts now.
Open it up. Friday afternoon, Oilersnation Radio. Gang's all here. Reese behind the board. Plenty to talk about. The 2025-26 season is underway. We kick it off with a delicious debate as we always do for our friends at Oodle Noodle. It's the weekend. It's Friday. Add 2 green onion cakes, 5 spring rolls, or 6 wontons for just $2 with the purchase of any signature or premium box. Available at oodlenoodle.ca for takeout only or in store if you want to pop on down. Tyler, yesterday, what are you smiling at me for?
I thought of a delicious debate, but it's a very sarcastic tongue in cheek and people wouldn't get the joke. So I'm just not going to say it.
Oh, no, it's the best time to say it.
All right. Well, I'm going to come back to that in a second. I want to ask about you doing the video for the Nation Vacation giveaway yesterday.
Yeah, it was great. Jay and I had a big box of entries. So a lot of people were eating at Oodle Noodle and entering ballots. Whoa. And we picked a lucky winner. I'm totally blanking on their name right now, but they're coming to Vancouver with us.
That's awesome.
You are now Tyler's roommate at this trip. So congratulations.
Shit. Okay. But it's them and a +1.
Yep. You're a throuple now.
I was like, which one of the two do I bunk
The
with?
winner sleeps with
You
you.
guys are all going to be one giant king bet anyway. So
Yeah.
Or
it's you in the middle,
Problem solved.
winners on each side.
bags on one bed, all 3 in the other.
Triangle. Everyone's got a foot ahead. So no one's at a disadvantage.
You're going to need a
That's
California
where-
king for that one.
Yeah.
Have you seen how tall you are?
That's fair.
You are a tall drink of water.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have the long way at least. Delicious debate. I want to get to yours though.
I do.
Like what now I'm looking at is just totally distracting because I want to know what's on your mind. My delicious debate, and this was really just to annoy Liam. Why are there no games on the first Friday of the NHL schedule?
Well, didn't you see? It's a good thing to have days off.
Gregor's in on it.
Why?
Gregor's like, the NHL should do this more. It's great.
Well, Gregor's
Because he just wants to enjoy his Friday is what he wants to do.
Gregor's speaking from a sports employed position.
But do it on a Tuesday.
No, Friday. Gregor likes his Fridays. Dan likes his Fridays too. I'm not doing anything.
There's no NFL today. There's playoff baseball, which means obviously there's one game, but predicting from backwards, there could be a bunch. There could be 0.
Yeah.
Like you could just own the day.
Yep.
You sure could, Rick.
And they only had 14 games last night. So there was
Have you seen the full schedule? There's 0. So there's 14 last night, 0 today, 16 tomorrow, 1 on Sunday.
Yes.
But I was talking with Dan before we started, and a light schedule on Sunday makes a lot of sense.
I agree.
I'm okay with that part.
You can do a couple games.
But no games on the first Friday of the NHL season.
So
is
dumb.
bananas.
It's very NHL.
Crazy.
The Oilers only have 2 Friday games all season.
Seriously?
And I'm pretty certain they're not till March and April.
Damn, that's crazy.
Because I asked Dan, I was like, is there another major thing? I know there's a baseball game, but is there another major thing happening tonight? The answer is no.
You can watch a replay of the municipal debate at the Edmonton Public Library.
Absolutely not.
Yep. Nope.
That's where Rick and Tyler are going. Don't spoil their fun.
See, this is the other part that's dumb. Okay, so I understand the NHL has this deal with Amazon, and I like the idea of it was called Coast to Coast.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun idea. You want as many games as you can on Thursday.
Coast to coast, great way to grow the game. Only available in Canada where the game has been sufficiently grown.
Yeah, we're kind of in on it.
If anything, it's maybe grown too much. Shrink the game.
We're good. 2 things. One, Connor McDavid didn't play on it. The best player in the league did not play on what you are promoting as your big event.
Are you supposed to show them on the big day?
You're supposed to.
Okay.
But if that could have just easily happened and your schedule could have just been bumped to a Friday if you just started the season on the Wednesday, where in Canada you have sports nights, Wednesday night hockey. It's just all of it is so ridiculous. And it just, again, people are probably exhausted about me complaining about it. I honestly am exhausted about it as well. But it's just so idiotic.
It is
it makes no sense at all.
Zero.
The NHL just lives in so much fear of just there's another sports team playing that day. Even though there's not today, but Sunday is the example I'm referring to.
Puff your chest out and be proud of what you have.
You do have fans that would like to watch you over the NFL.
I would have been very happy to watch a game on a Friday night.
I would have. I don't have any plans tonight. I probably would have watched them.
You could do double headers.
You could. Yes, you could. You just do your Eastern time at 5.
5 and 8.
And then do 1 at 8. It's actually a really simple thing. I actually wrote an article about this not so long ago. No one listened.
Tyler, what's the real delicious debate?
I just think it's so annoying how like immediately toxic everyone got about Stuart Skinner. So inspired by those guys, just the only thing in my head was delicious debate to appease those people. What's the right way to publicly execute Skinner? Do you do stoning in the town square or guillotine?
Well, it can't be guillotine because all these people are going to want their opportunity. They're going to want their throw. So
I say this in jest because I love Stuart Skinner and I'm a Skinner backer. Everyone needs to fucking calm down.
I will say this right now. Stuart Skinner is better at his job than 99% of the people on Twitter are at theirs.
Yep.
And I think it upsets them.
I just don't get it. I love the Oilers.
Take that, shitty accountants.
Yeah.
I don't know. That game just made me miss Mike Smith and his obsessiveness of, I was saying that to Bag Milk before the show, his obsessive compulsiveness where he handled that puck like it was a grenade every single time.
But everybody hated it when it happened.
I liked Mike Smith playing the puck.
People hated how often
and
he played the
also,
puck.
as Bag Milk pointed out, Mike Smith would have whacked that puck off the ice and out of the area altogether because there would have been nobody in the real estate around
The thing is, I know I was at the game, Rick was at the game, Tyler was too. And that goal, as annoying as it was a shit play. The first two were not Stu's fault.
No, but that play is not on the goaltender alone. You have two passive individuals. They take hockey out of it. Their personalities are a little more passive. They were both looking at the other guy going, I should just leave you the puck. The defenseman coming back should take the puck. Why the hell first of all, he's being chased by a forward, not that far away. So he put the puck in the corner. Now he has to go into the corner and keep his back to the forward coming at him. So if Stu puts that puck in the corner, Bush goes to get it and then gets crushed in the corner.
I disagree.
I have a
gets
totally
hurt.
different take than you.
Yeah.
Bush has to pick that puck up and then you go around the net. And now that forward's not going to pursue you anymore.
I just thought like where it fell between his legs in the crease, Bush isn't going to take that. I also thought it was Stu's job to let Bouchard know Coleman's on you. He's literally looking in that direction.
I agree. I think it comes down to the goalie because you're the one looking up the ice first.
It's a lack of communication on both sides.
I said this on O&E yesterday too. Like I feel like Bouchard, and maybe he just didn't know, which is also maybe not a good thing, but should have maybe also not given the indication that he was going to take the puck.
Yeah.
Like just turn around and box out Coleman. And I think that would have been fine too. And then crisis over. With that said, it is all Stu's fault.
If he's jumbling it at his feet, just tell him to cover it.
Yeah. And that's also fine.
Cover it.
Yeah. Definitely a communication issue. But again,
it's both sides on this one.
The problem that I had was first goal, bad luck. That shit happens. Bounces in off Noah Phillips' skate. Away she goes. Second one, it is now 3 days later. That is still fucking high sticking.
That's high sticking, yeah.
I don't understand how they can't, like, the NFL has the thing where they can use one camera angle to like verify where a person's body is or where the ball is. And then they can use the other camera angle because there's this cool thing where every video that you take has a timestamp in it. Whoa. So you could line those up and make sure that that's exactly the same moment. And if you can't see anything below the bar, then he has to be above the bar. And it just like that drives me wild. So yeah, sorry. Thank you for bringing that up.
The other thing too that I was thinking about is like, how is it 2025 in the NHL? Just like in soccer, someone's ass cheek is offside.
And I hate that.
And there is a video of it.
Yeah.
Tennis, same thing.
Say, how long has tennis been doing it? I think they did for anyone.
And I know that like tennis is 2 or 4 people. There's not as much like congestion, I guess. But
I
like,
think the argument would be they go through too many pucks. Tennis goes through a fuck ton of tennis balls.
Absolutely.
So is every tennis ball chipped?
What's baseball next year? They're going to have that strike zone replay down to like a 1/10 of an inch.
Yeah.
So like to me, it's how are we here? And there are chips in the pucks, is there not?
The track puck. We've seen it.
So like how is it now that you can't figure out elevation from the ice on something like that? Because if the rule is the crossbar, that should be very easy to figure out.
Does anybody here understand that stuff? Can we make a plan for the NHL and then we can take it to the NHL, we can sell it to them, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us can make bank off this?
We're just the idea.
Because obviously they have not thought about it yet.
I understand it.
You know how to put this together?
You've got spreadsheets over there.
Freaking laser beams attached to their hands.
But like the goal can move, but where the goal is supposed to go, that does not move. So your level of your crossbar is the same.
Yes.
So all you need is where your post would be, I guess, on the glass. Just get like a sensor there.
Yeah.
And it's such an avoidable situation. And I just think the NHL puts their officials in a bad spot too. I can understand why that ref called it a good goal. I can. It took us a few replays watching it to be like, oh yeah, maybe that was under the crossbar. But in the moment, it's moving so quick, he just sees the guy knock it down. Puck goes in. Is what
I'm
it is.
fine with calling it a goal because a goal automatically gets reviewed, no?
Yeah.
Does it?
And if it's a no goal, then it's not a review. The other team has to challenge
But
it.
then we have to, like, if the refs are going to lean to, if the refs' instructions from the league are lean more towards goal, will fix problems in review, then you have to get rid of the whole, well, it has to be reasonable doubt to overturn it. Like, it has to be conclusive if you're going to overturn the call. Because you can't tell the refs to like lean one way and then in the reviews be like, oh, well, now we're all skewered. Do you get what I'm saying?
Sort of, but like the ref has to make the call in real time, and then someone gets to do frame by frame by frame.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, the refs are told, like, hey, if you're torn in your head on what you saw, just call the goal, then we can go watch it.
It's like tie goes to the runner is what you're saying.
And like, I feel like you can't have that if the review process is also skewed towards the refs call on the ice. Like, I feel like you should be able to use a little bit of common sense in that instance and be like, can you definitively 110% prove that he touched it above the crossbar? No, because the angles aren't there, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but anyone who watches that replay, if you had a gun to your head of high stick or not, I think everybody who watches that replay goes, yep, high stick.
I was in section 205 up in the upstairs and I fucking saw it was a high stick.
Yeah.
Very big TV, very obvious to me.
I didn't get it. Anyway, hit us up. Delicious debate. Why are there no scheduled games today? First Friday. You can
Load management.
converse with Liam on that unless he has you muted. Secondly,
Do you know what we did today actually on O&E was unmute everyone from the YouTube chat.
oh boy.
And we did it immediately. And there's this guy who listens to the show called Doug Waite. And he's such a pain in the ass.
Not the real one.
Not the real one. But for months, there's been this guy in the chat called Shooter McGavin. And Shooter wasn't in the chat at all today. And as soon as we unmuted everyone, Doug was in there instantly. And we did a spin the wheel for to Sports Closet. And he fucking won.
His first day back in the YouTube chat in months. He's been watching the show still. And he won the fucking gift card. Insane.
Consistency, boys. He's there every day and now he's rewarded for it. All right, Reese, we're going to move along to the news for our friends at Odd Company. Proud to partner with Odd Company Brewing to bring you Nation Beer Everyday Lager. Perfect for the next big game, your next go-to lager. Find at either Odd Company location here in the city or at liquorconnect.com. Search it out. Find a liquor store near you that sells it. If they don't, ask why. Getting into the news, we talked about Connor. We talked about Wallman. Did not get a chance to talk about Mattias Ekholm's extension, 3x4. I don't know what I think about it. I love Mattias Ekholm. I thought it was a year too long. Not offended by it. But where did everybody else come out on Mattias Ekholm?
My take during camp was don't commit to Ekholm now. You need to see how he looks. And then when you are 100% confident that the Ekholm we saw in the playoffs was truly just a result of the injuries, and he's not a 35-year-old who, because of the injuries, is going to take a massive step back. Like that happens a lot in sports. That's just why I didn't want them to rush to anything with Ekholm. They take the gamble, give him $4 million before the season starts. And then you watch him on opening night and you're like, okay, they clearly saw something in training camp with the testing, how he's looked. They clearly saw something that was like, we're good to commit to him now. Let's not let this price go up. If he's willing to do this, that's a number we're comfortable with. So ultimately, it's a long way of me saying I'm fine with it.
Dan, what do you think?
I still am a little bit worried about the term, but I mean, it is what it is. I think I was the one that said 1 year or less as my term that I wanted for him. But I will say to Tyler's point that he didn't look out of place. He didn't look like he was a step behind at all against the Flames on Wednesday night. So not upset in that standard or that standpoint. I just think that I, as a fan, keep thinking about down the road more than I should.
The only reason I said I thought it was a year too long is, unfortunately, Father Time is undefeated in pro sports. And by the end of this term, well, with this year plus the 3, he'll be 39 when this is over. Now, cap's going to shoot up tremendously. $4 million in 3.5 years, 4 years is going to look like nothing, but
I think it already does look like nothing.
Dude, in 2 years, it could be $120 million.
Cody Ceci makes $4.5 million still.
Yes.
And like if he can be the Mattias Ekholm of old for this year and maybe even close to it next year, years 2 and 3, if he's on your third pairing making $4 million, I mean,
That's a good guy you want there.
You've got enough value out of it too that you just bite the bullet on
I
it.
saw the comparison was Ryan Suda
Sure.
of like when he got his contract, was able to kind of maintain a decent level until, honestly, the last few months of his contract. I think when the Oilers played, was he on Dallas last season or was he St. Louis? Whatever it was. He
St.
had
Louis.
a bad last season.
Yeah.
That's how people remember him. But his last contract, he was actually decent.
The other contract things, obviously Connor signed for 12.5 on Monday. We talked about that on the Tuesday episode, but Kyle Connor signed at 12.
Yeah.
Jack Eichel at 13.5. Curious to see what Panarin comes in at. How mad do you think Bill Guerin is right now? Do you think he's mad? Or because I read his quote yesterday, he goes, well, he means more to us at 17 than he ever would have if he left, that kind of thing.
I just think it illustrates why the Wild were totally hooped in the sense of like Kaprizov is the franchise. And if he goes, pay me 17 or I walk, and Minnesota says, okay, walk. Like they're hooped. There goes their star. Like if Winnipeg and Kyle Connor would have said, pay me 17 or I walk, I really do think the Jets could have sat there and been like, no one's giving you 17. We have Scheifele, we have Hellebuck, we have Morrissey. You can walk and like, we'll be fine. And if Kempe
They
leaves,
just let Ehlers walk.
yeah. And if Kempe goes to the Kings and says 15 or I walk, the Kings can go, we'll get someone else. But I feel like Minnesota was just pushed into a corner of like, if Kaprizov leaves, they're mediocre.
They're not dealing
again.
with all that negative capsule, are they?
No,
No,
which is
just
another
the fish.
interesting part of it of like Bill Guerin, if any GM shouldn't be rattled, he was building a playoff team when he had $15 million in dead cap space. So having one guy signed for 17 when he's an actual star player, that's all
He was
good.
also part of a team when he was a player that watched good players leave because they couldn't afford him.
The other side of it too is, which no one seems to be considering, Minnesota just don't have to sign anyone for like 4 years.
They have a lot of other guys locked up.
Boldy's signed for $7 million. But like, keep in mind too, Kaprizov's the only player on Minnesota that makes more than $9 million. Well, like, and these are the guys. So Boldy signed for $7 million. I believe that kicks in this year. Maybe it was last year till 2030. Eriksson Ek, solid player, only 28, signed till 2029, 5.25. They just signed Marco Rossi for 3 years. He's basically the first player they'll really have to pay. He's 24 years old, 3 years at $5 million. Couple of veteran guys on the blue line. Brock Faber signed till 2033. Kaprizov is 2034. And then other guys like Brodin signed, Middleton signed. They have Zeev Boomium coming through. He'll probably actually be the next guy they have to sign a like significant deal. But even like Gustafsson, they just signed him the other day till 2031. Like their team is actually pretty locked in
For a while.
And next season, they still have $15 million in cap space a year after 43. Like it's not as like crazy of a situation as people are making it seem.
And like the new smart thing to do for every organization is lock your guys up long term.
Yes.
Because if we're already hearing the cap's not going to be 104, it's going to be 107 next offseason, just start signing guys. And every offseason, you're going to have money to play with. I also think it's going to totally, the double retention and the cap shooting up, I think the days of seeing big trades are gone.
Especially in season.
In season, I even think in the summer.
Why so?
I just think
You can't keep any, like there's no, teams don't have that much money.
when it was a flat cap, I think teams were looking at maybe some good quality players. Look at even Colorado with Rantanen. And this is probably, again, like short-sighted by them. But they're sitting there being like, can't afford to pay him more than 12. We're not going to have the money to do it. We have to trade him. And I think there are other examples of like, you get to the off season, you have a guy who's making, even if it's as little as like $6 or $7 million, and you're like, okay, we probably got to get rid of that because it's a flat cap. We need that money to go elsewhere. And now teams can just lock up their guys, kick their feet up. And as the cap goes up 7, 8 million every summer, they're going to have enough money to keep filling out their roster.
But it'll be cyclical, and then the roster, or the contracts will go up to the point where you get back in the same situation again.
Yeah, I'm just saying it might take a few
For the,
years.
yeah, no, 100% there. They probably, for the next couple of years, I could see that, but eventually things will like even out again, I'd assume.
Coming back to Edmonton, middle of the game. Jack Roslovic signs a 1 year, 1.5, and then details came out today. He's got a no move clause until November 1st, and then a 4-team no trade after that.
He's got to
So,
move for 1 month.
Do you know why? So Zach Lang pointed this out. That is when Zach Hyman is eligible to return to the Oilers. So this
yeah.
could be a $1.5 million PTO. So those 4 teams, Zach, again, he wrote about this on the website,
Interesting.
is an assumption of like maybe those are the 4 other teams he was close to signing with, but Edmonton was like the best audition I mean, hopefully they just keep him and he turns out to be good and he likes it and everything, but like, it's not a coincidence that it's that date.
And he's protecting himself just to finish. That'd be Roslovic of Hyman comes back. Maybe he's slow out of the gates with Edmonton and they just put him on waivers. He's protecting himself now against that because he can't be put on waivers.
I want to know
All year?
It's a no move.
From November 1st.
Yeah.
Oh, starting November 1st.
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, my bad. I took it the other way. Yeah.
I want, Tyler, if you could, I've asked you this multiple times. I want people that listen to this podcast to hear the rumor from July 1st with Jack Roslovic.
That was going to be my question, I think.
Yeah, apparently I heard, and people have been saying this, they offered him like a 3x4 or whatever.
So is okay. Is that what so I've only ever heard that they offered him something and then he said it wasn't good enough and turned us down. And then here we are. So what are we talking? Do you know exactly what it was?
I think it was I think it was somewhere around 3x3, 3x4. And I
3
think
years at $3 to $4 million.
And I think when Roslovic said no, that's probably when the Oilers, because Mangiapane was a day 2 signing or a late day one.
Late day one.
Late day one. I would assume Roslovic got back to them and said no. And they said, all right, sweet. Mangiapane, signed Mangiapane. And then Roslovic sat there. And
I actually,
so how do we get to this point then? Did we call or did he call?
I think his agent fucked him because he fired his agent in the summer.
I heard that too. But
Bowman said he called.
Bowman called?
Sorry. Or Bowman, yeah, I'm sure he said he called, or like maybe his new agent called because they knew there was interest.
So the players team,
yeah,
approached us and said, "Hey, listen, I know we said no, but hey,
I can't.
How about half price?"
I can't remember exactly what it was. It might have been Bowman who called and like let the new agent know that like we still have interest in you, but we have this much money. Take it or leave it. And he clearly took it.
What I was going to say was I was waiting for the game to start, or I guess the Jays game to start, game 3, I guess it was. And I watched the off-season episode of The Drop. It was interesting how the Mangiapane thing came together.
Explain.
They were kind of walking through the money side of it. Obviously, he had to come down from where he was at in Washington. And he knew that if he wanted to come here. They actually bumped up about $200,000 to get him at the 3.6 from where they wanted to be. And watching the Stan Bowman conversations one-sided of the conversations with the agent was interesting. Chris Knobloch called him 2-3 times during the day.
Mangiapane?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Then there was also like a section where he goes, Stan Bowman's just talking to some of the staff and he goes, do you know if Connor and Leon have reached out yet? And it goes, Connor has, Leon hasn't yet. He's at the gym. And just that kind of stuff is interesting. So go check out The Drop from the offseason. I thought it was
How are those episodes? Some of them good, some of them not so good.
They're pretty good. I think for the most part, they do a pretty good job. I refuse to watch the playoff one.
Compare him to Oil Change.
I was going to say, what's better, Oil Change?
Fuck.
Things are a little bit nicer right now.
I
So
think
this is a
there's
little bit
like
better.
an era-adjusted trauma from Oil Change that I cannot shake. So I will
wanted
give
that to work so well.
I loved Oil Change.
I will give the edge to The Drop.
All right.
I'm still hurt. I was watching preseason games on Oilers Plus and they kept being like, you can watch old episodes of this. And then there's like Peter Chiarelli's like, we've traded Taylor Hall. And I'm like, no, trigger.
I still remember that day.
Yeah.
Me
This was in
too.
the afternoon. I was at the insurance company.
I was at Pasta Pentra. I thought it was Jordan Eberle. I just saw it. It
What'd you
came
get?
up on my phone. 4 G's Tripolini.
Nice work.
I pulled up my phone and it was like, the Oilers have acquired Adam Lawson from New Jersey. And I just didn't read the rest. The assumption that Jordan Eberle had just gone and found out like hours later that it was Taylor Hall.
That long.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't as dialed in back then.
Going back to Jack Roslovic for a second. Where does he even fit?
Top offense. Second line offense. Second line right wing is my guess.
So you're bumping
Savoy?
Savoy?
So you're just knocking Savoy down?
Just going to knock Savoy down. I think Cheeks comes out with the lineup. And then,
Cheeks?
Yeah. And then Savoy will play alongside, who would that third line be? I guess Philp. Like, honestly, like I would like Savoy to maybe even go next, like Henrique and Podkolzin, and then Philp next Tomasek and Howard. I wouldn't mind that. But I just think Roslovic, they talked about in a press conference how they wanted 5-on-5 production. If you want that, you got to put him in a position to succeed. And Knobloch has also spoke about in the past how these young guys, he wants them on the team. He wants them to learn. He wants them to fail. but he also doesn't want to throw them in the deep end. He wants them to ease into it. So that makes sense why Savoy might get bumped down a little bit too.
So the right side from game one, this is dailyfaceoff.com. Trent Frederick was up on the first line. Matt Savoy was with Nuge. By the way, Nuge, fucking great game. Shout out to you, buddy. David Tomaszek was with Henrique and Howard. And then it was Cheese Clappinen with Noah Philp and Podkolzin.
Doesn't that same logic apply though if they replace Frederick with him?
But I think they also want to give Frederick a bit of a leash on the second line, at least until Hyman comes back. And then I think you bump down Frederick then.
When Hyman comes back, this shit gets really interesting.
I could see a world where Trent Frederick maybe doesn't have a great game again tomorrow and Roslovic's starting on the top line.
Do you see a world where perhaps they take someone who's getting paid around $3 million playing in the bottom six and ship him to somewhere else and then use that for a nice little cap space when it
How
comes
handsome
time?
is he?
Pretty handsome.
I think they'll
Why-
use someone anti-handsome.
Why would he waive his no move? Like what
I wasn't
team?
thinking. Okay, first I'll put it out. I didn't think of the no move situation. I was just thinking this was 100% from a team's perspective.
Can I like
So he's so happy with himself too. Look at him over there.
the Oilers have kind of shown us that they're a very smart cap team the last number of years. They've been very good at getting their numbers very close. They're not so dumb that they don't sign Jack Roslovic to $1.5 million without knowing that they have a plan to get exactly cap compliant again. $2.8 million is what they would need to clear off the roster right now for when Hyman comes back, if they want to keep Roslovic around. So Lazar, $775K. So now we're down to 2.1. 2.1 would be exactly one of Regula or Stetcher and Janmark's whole contract off the books. I could see a world where they're sitting there. It's a 10-team no trade. So there's 21 teams that Janmark could be traded to. I could see a world where they already have a team that is like, we'll take them. Because like the math is perfect. Janmark, Stetcher, Lazar, cap compliant. So I could just see a world where they've had a conversation with like 2 of the 22 teams. And those teams are like, yeah, we could use like a good penalty killing bottom 6 winger. And the Oilers go, all right, and because it would also take some money off the books for next year. And they're dead. Like the math is almost dead on.
Interesting.
Poor Mattias Janmark, hey? This is his 3rd season at Edmonton. 4th season at Edmonton.
Getting beaten down the whole time.
He's
Taking
been a good
shrapnel.
soldier.
Referred to once as anti-pretty.
Look, like he has been a good Oiler, but you can't tell me what Podkolzin does. Podkolzin can't do what Janmark does.
Oh,
know what I mean?
100%.
Like even Kapanen to an extent. And I just think if he made $1 million bucks, it would be a lot different. But unfortunately, the extra 450,000 could be the difference between his time in Edmonton continuing or coming to an end.
I just feel like you're going to have a guy like when we have everything all said and done, that I think that Henrique almost ends on the 4th line. I just feel like that's a lot of money to spend on a 4th line player, especially when it comes time, like when you looking at someone at the deadline, moving out a $3 million contract, the deadline, it's 25% less. Is that not a $12 million player you can bring in at that point?
I wonder if, and just hypothetically, they get to the deadline and I wonder if they're able to move Henrique. Obviously, you would have to waive, and I don't think you will, to an Eastern Conference team, like contending Eastern Conference team.
Oh, yeah. You're not going to go to a nobody, obviously.
Yeah, like he's not going to say no, but like I wonder if that's maybe a way they can free up some money. I actually thought Henrique was pretty decent.
This is zero to do with like his game and whatever, but when like
what if
Leon drops there and Nugent's up here, then you probably still roll with Philp there. You're running with Connor, Leon, Nuge, Philp down the middle. You're running out of like...
But what if that does not happen?
100%. No, I agree with you. Yeah.
Like, what if they just don't move McDavid and Draisaitl off each other's line all season? And then all of a sudden you go in, Draisaitl, McDavid. I'm going to be fun.
You don't really have
mystery player.
You don't really have another centerman in here you can utilize, I suppose, eh?
Frederick. But then your second line is Mangiapane, Nuge, Roslovic. And then you go, just in this scenario, let's just say they put Frederick on the wing, Henrique, Savoy, Podkolzin, Philp, Howard.
Well, I get it. I think right now I'm just so hungry for that addition at the deadline that I'm like, you get rid of a $3 million player. Holy shit, what can you bring in at that point?
Our fan base is really moved on to next summer already once McDavid signed his deal. We hadn't even dropped the puck, and it was just like, when's Alex Tuck coming?
And just another thing too, with the new playoff rules, Like I get yours. Were you talking like a $3 million player at the deadline? Like how good of a player is that?
No, if you have like $3 million in space, you can bring in like a $10 to $12 million player if there's 25% left.
And then come day one of the playoffs, they immediately begin to count as $12 million again, and you're fucked.
Is that how it's going to work?
Yes. They've totally they have not totally, but they have largely de-incentivized.
So you have to be cap compliant for game one.
Yeah, with your 18-man roster. So you do get a little bit of wiggle room. So the incentive is kind of more in the range of like, if you have $1 million in cap space and then all of a sudden you can afford $4 million at the deadline, come playoff time when you only need 18 players on your cap, 20 players on your cap instead of 23, you can still fit in that $4 million player. But if you use $4 million to acquire $12 million in cap hit, there's no way in hell you're going to be able to fit that guy on your roster.
I had no idea about that, by the way.
I thought it goes game by game though.
It does.
So you could potentially move around. Yeah.
You're going to healthy scratch like 4 guys.
I agree.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying that there is a way for them
I don't know if I like that now.
Right. So like if you're the Oilers and let's say you were to acquire an $8 million player because you have $2.5 million in cap space that accrues, it's just,
well, doesn't that mean that we're going to get more middleman teams involved where they're taking on?
They closed that loophole.
Oh no,
because that starts next year though.
This year they decided to start all of this a year early.
Yeah,
I knew something.
So you can only, once a contract has been retained 50%, it can't be traded in a retention deal again for 75 days.
Oh yeah.
So the trade deadline's gonna suck forever.
Why did they do
you guys
that?
have 8 hours of. You better start coming up with a lot of games for trade deadline day.
Yep.
Could that not make more of a second trade deadline happening 75 days out from the?
But even look at last year, how many true sellers were there?
Yeah,
6 or 7. How many teams in December are like, we're selling, let's trade all these pieces for 50%? And how many teams would be like, we'll acquire him knowing that we're only flipping him in 75 days? Like it's just GMs aren't that creative.
Yep. That's fair.
It sucks. Good job, NHL.
I didn't know a lot of that. That's upsetting.
Yeah, this is brand new to me. Like I knew the rules. I tried to dip into them.
Hope I'm right about it.
I think we tried to break down the rules on one of our shows too.
This actually starts next year.
This part's very upsetting now.
All right. Well, we'll get off the math from me and Rick.
75 days before the deadline, by the way, December 20th, which I believe
you can't do something that
Merry Christmas. You're going to San Jose.
I actually thought like the Christmas freeze would be right around then too sometime.
That's perfect. So,
changing gears a little bit. Yesterday, Jake Wallman was thrown on the IR. Tyler or Liam, is this a cap move or is he hurt?
It's a roster move more so than a cap move. So the Oilers, because they have so much LTIR space from Hyman, they had 24 guys on their roster. You're only allowed 23, but they're totally cap compliant with those 24. So by putting Wallman on normal IR, not LTIR, they still have the ability to activate him at any point now.
And retro.
Yeah, because it's retroactive. They can activate him at any point. And they're still cap compliant, so they're all good.
Yeah,
covered on all bases.
And
do we know what happened to him?
He's on the ice today.
Not playing tomorrow, but it sounds like he could play on the road trip.
Yeah.
Okay. But do we know what's wrong with him?
No, I at least don't.
Too much gritty.
He wasn't wearing a tie during the player intros. I noticed that.
Maybe a bit of a skin rash.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
The Marion Hossa, we call it.
Devastating.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna need an ointment for that.
Before we get into the next little bit, Oilers play Vancouver tomorrow. Is that here or in Vancouver?
Here. I thought it was on the road too.
Oh, it's definitely here.
Do we?
Of course we do.
Get an Evander Kane tribute video?
Yes.
Hopefully while he's in the penalty box.
They haven't done one for a while. Guys don't get them.
Yeah, but
like Tyson Berry, I know he's only here for a couple of years, but he scored a huge goal for them and like part of it. I think he should. I don't know what the criteria would be that I would say like, hey, like this, he's matched this, but like he would have been the last player that left that didn't get one.
What? So Barry didn't?
Barry didn't.
They gave CC one?
Nope.
Really? They didn't give CC one.
Maybe like they didn't.
Did he play here in a non-playoff game? I guess is my other question. But
yeah, because he remember that 2-1 game against San Jose.
Yeah. I thought they gave CC
would have. Maybe
Kane was a bit more in the fan favorite column though, so I bet you they do it.
And he scored. He had some
Big
huge moments.
Huge moments.
Yeah, exactly. That's how the video should end.
There was that first playoff run where he got a hat trick basically every third game or whatever it was. It was
insane.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think they should offer tickets to that lady.
Which lady?
The lady on the other side of the glass from Vegas. See if she wants.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, like my favorite Kane moment, and it wasn't even him scoring, was just that huge forecheck he had on Bronick, where he just creamed him through the glass. And then Bouchard scored with like 30 seconds left.
Yeah, that was sick.
Unbelievable.
I was at that game with Jay. Never forget.
I was at that game with sales guy Jared.
Also,
Was that
never
the playoff
forget.
game?
Yeah, it was
Yep.
a playoff
Still
game.
owes me
Boosh
for that
scores
ticket
was
now that I
like
think
under a
about
minute
it.
ago.
We would have been down 3-1 in the series.
Yeah, but they'd already tied it,
Different
and then they went and scored and
That's what I mean.
won it. Yeah.
Yeah, because Pickett tied that game, and it was like, oh, fuck.
Let's talk a little betting, gentlemen. Reese,
Okay.
pull up our friends at Bet365. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, download the app and get in on the game. Use the code NATION. Bet365 must be 19 years old or older. Where do I want to start with the betting talk? Well, I was looking at some of the different futures on Bet365, and I found one that we'd never talked about. This is for the frisky people.
Oh.
You want to get into the weeds? This is one for you.
There we go.
I'm listening.
Predicting accurately the two teams and the winner in the Stanley Cup final. So here's what I want to do for you guys. So I've got Oilers winning the final, of course.
Of course.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams here with the best odds for the, like, you'd win the
To be
most
the
money.
Oilers' opponent.
It's the longest shot, but you'd win the most money. Which team do you think is giving plus 35,000 odds if the Oilers beat them in the final?
Like 35,000.
That's right.
Wow.
Buffalo.
I'm going to guess.
No, it can't be Buffalo. Because they wouldn't be.
Buffalo.
They're fifth best odds.
No, this is like you would win the most money. So
This is the worst.
it's
Oh,
the worst.
Sorry.
So
Yeah,
it's
the-
Edmonton
Buffalo.
versus the worst team in the East, or the team in the East that has the least opportunity.
or
to
at
win,
least that the betting
according to-
public thinks is the worst.
Columbus?
Fair.
Columbus is in the top 5, but it is not the top team, Dan. That is
Wow.
a very good guess.
Thanks.
Okay.
Columbus is the bar.
I'm trying to think. I didn't really look too much into division.
Are they undefeated
losers.
right now?
I was going to say the Penguins would be my guess, but I will. I'll lay it on the line. I'll go the Philadelphia Flyers.
I'm calling the Penguins.
Tyler, you want to guess?
Is it Buffalo?
It is Ricardo, Pittsburgh Penguins, plus 35,000.
Wow.
Second up on this list is the Bruins, plus 30,000.
Yeah,
Columbus,
bad.
plus 20,000. Canadians, plus 15. And the New York Rangers are fifth at plus
It
9,000.
is so weird to hear the Bruins in that conversation. Just forget about what you know about the team right now. It's just Boston's never really in that position.
The other thing I want to talk about, because I don't have odds for the game tomorrow against Vancouver, so I want to talk about the baseball game today, Tyler. Tigers, Mariners. Tigers are favorited on the money line at minus 130. Seattle's plus 110 on the money line. Run line for Tigers winner 2 or more is plus 150. Minus 180 for the Mariners to cover that. And the over-under is 5.5. Over is minus 120. Even money on the under. I text one David Quadrelli this morning. Mariners fan. He is not doing well with this situation. And I quote, fuck, he texts me a lot. I don't even want to talk about it. Sick to the stomach. Getting Scooble twice in a series is a tall task.
Yeah,
Which
Scooble.
team would you rather face? First of all, before you answer the rest of that, which team would you rather have the Jays face? I know going to the last series, I said Yankees. I didn't want to face. I'd prefer the Yankees over the Red Sox. Who do you think is best for the Jays right now?
In my Blue Jays fandom, I lean more towards a Rick side of the scale. So let me give you a very Rick answer.
Yeah.
Don't give a shit. Beat them both. Who
Love
cares? Who
Fucking
cares?
love it.
Love that.
I like legitimately don't care who they play. They're going to win. Team of Destiny.
And I love it too, because regardless of where they go, they're almost at another home game.
Yeah. And like,
Yeah.
I mean, Scooble, scary. And the rest of that Detroit rotation stinks. And like the fact that Scooble's got to go today, can't pitch Saturday, Sunday, or likely Monday, because that'd be 3 days
1 and 2.
rest. And there's no game on Tuesday. So you're not getting Scooble till game 3, which means like he's a game
You
3
eat on
and
the first
7.
two.
He's a game 3 and 7 starter. You can win the first 2 at home. Maybe I'm talking myself into Detroit a little bit because like Seattle has a much deeper rotation. Logan Gilbert is good and all that. And if Brian Wu's back,
I heard Max Fried was good too.
decent point.
I
That's
heard
why I don't.
Schittler was good too.
That's why I don't really care.
So you're putting down Jason Gregor's money today. Where are you going? You got Tigers favored on the money line. Run lines at plus 150. Over under at 5.5.
If you're asking me for my, I think the M's will do it. I think the home crowd would be a good story too. But if you're asking me for my favorite bet, Tarek Skubal has gotten 9 or more Ks in 3 of his last 4 games. And the one he missed was still 8. George Kirby has gotten 8 or more Ks in 3 of his last 4 games. You could play those together and get it at plus 575.
At what, both +8?
Scooble the 9, Kirby to 8. Plus 575.
All I know is it's Friday, and I'm very excited about Sunday.
How's that series gone in terms of runs? We're talking low scoring?
Bit of both,
9-3,
honestly. I think the Scooble
8-4,
game was low, and the other two were overs.
3-2. All right, 3-2.
All I know is it's a big sports weekend, friends.
Except for today.
Except not today. Yeah. If you want to watch sports today, you got nothing.
But today's where you can, for whoever your partner is, you just kind of say like, hey,
Gotcha.
yeah, tonight it's a great sports weekend.
Friday's
sweetie.
all yours though, dear.
Yeah, Friday, it's about you, but just give me the rest of the weekend.
Please.
And then you're good. Maybe take her to a farmer's market tomorrow.
Like I'm doing
Or
my
him.
Thanksgiving on Monday with my family. So Sunday, I'm doing nothing but watching sports all day.
That's great.
Is there a 7:30 this week? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Is there a game at 7:30? NFL?
Yes, there's a London game. Broncos Jets.
Ooh,
Well, I've still got fucking DAZN because I had to go buy it for one game. So I guess I'll watch that one.
Yeah.
Big sports day.
big sports day.
All right. Moving along to Ask the Idiots. This is for our friends at Swiss Donair. Let me tell you something about Donair. Whether you're hungry, whether you're partying, whether you just want to fill yourself up with something delicious, a Donair. That's what you need. You're at Edmonton. Feels good, tastes good, makes you feel good, and look good. Segment is a presentation of Swiss Donair. Swiss Donair is the home for the old school Donair with options if you want some flair. Open for 25 years, now 7 days a week. The pride of the North Side. Swiss Donair is great for your events at home or the office. Check out their location at 8308 144th Ave Northwest or online at swissdonair.com. We've got 4 questions here today, fellas. Going to ease you into this one. This one comes in from Damon. Rick, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
You are a man about town.
Mm-hmm.
Damon wants to know, it's my first game ever at Rogers Place on Saturday against the Canucks.
Wow.
I've been to Edmonton. I've been to watch parties. I've been to the playoffs watch parties, but I've never actually been to a game. What are some tips, do's and don'ts for a first timer? And what time do you think I should get to the rink?
You're a first timer. Get there early. I'm sure you're going to want to take a look around. I remember my first day there. We definitely you go stroll the bottom, stroll the top, take a look around, see what's going on. Pop in the Oilers store before that.
Yep.
Tips, it's not per se for one of mine, but I know a lot of people like to head down and get nice and close for warm-ups.
Yep.
Right. Keep an eye on that. Maybe you get a little selfie with somebody if they're paying attention to you. I don't know after that, man. Kind of just take it day by day.
I think my advice is just, one thing too, like if Rick didn't say it, but his advice is sit very quietly. Don't say a word when you're at the game.
Yeah, definitely keep it quiet. Keep it very quiet.
The only thing I would say is if this is your first game and you're super excited,
Have
go
something
down.
to eat before.
Yeah, good. Something
Foods
to eat.
are a little
It's-
pricey,
It's
yes.
a little pricey when you get in there, but just go early. Wander into the Oilers store. Wander around, the Moss Pit for a minute and check things out.
If
Go
you're willing
inside.
to drop a couple bucks, though, definitely go up to the Studio 99 and have the buffet up there. It is fantastic. And do not start grabbing stuff at the first part of the buffet. Ride it out. Even take a stroll. Take a little recon mission.
One lap, yeah.
A recon mission, because there is a seafood tower stand over there that
They put that in the back for a reason.
bro. Yeah, take 2 plates up there.
Mm-hmm.
I walk right past it. You want some bread? No. You want a salad? No. Excuse me. Pardon me. Yeah, go ahead. I'm over here.
Tyler,
much-
Dan,
how much is
Liam,
the
any
buffet?
tips for a first timer?
$7.
I have a
You
big
get it
tip.
free.
Go ahead.
So this is one that was pointed out to me. I don't know where you're sat, young man.
By the way, if you're set in the loge, your bill will run up on you.
Yeah, that'll be
They'll
spooky.
get you.
If you're in the loge, also take a jacket. It's a little chilly.
Oh, yeah.
There's long bathroom lines.
Mm.
But the bathroom at 105, I believe it is.
107, yeah, 105, right there, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one you want to go.
There's
get
so
to.
many urinals in that
Yeah,
one.
you'll get in and out in
Behind
minutes.
our net? No, that's the
Where
120s.
Ty sits.
Oh.
It's above $4.
105, 107, yeah.
Yeah, the
right
one
by
behind
Florida.
our net and first and third. If you get there quick. There's a lot of urinals.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I go to that bathroom. Even honestly, wherever you are, you probably best bet is that.
Yep.
If you're worried about the bathrooms, another thing, buddy,
It's not that bad.
45 seconds left in the period. You can get up there in and out.
Ooh.
I'm not leaving
Risky.
my seat.
I'm good enough at timing up a TV timeout.
Well, you know the math on it.
Mhm.
You take this shit to a science.
Mhm.
It's easy for
When the boys say show up early, that means 1 hour before puck drop is when the gates open.
Yes.
Not a moment earlier than that.
It
Just
depends
so-
what you want to do. Like if you want to
But
wander around.
You can hit a Fort
the
Hall.
Oilers-
before, I
Yeah,
think.
get there real early. I was going to say, go to
Fort
Fort
Hall.
Hall, have a beer in Fort Hall. They're
Oh,
cheaper.
they're cheap there.
In
Yep.
Garden,
$6
whatever it's
on
called.
Saturday.
Yeah, it's like
I think
$5,
they were
$6.
telling us.
And they'll have the other game on the earlier game, whatever it
Mhm.
is. Everyone else, apparently. Thank God this game is on a Friday.
Yeah, I would say I would like get downtown at like 5 and like go to Greta, eat food at Greta. Honestly, that's a great call. And then like just walk down and like find another spot and then go to the big Oilers store, then have a beer in Fort Hall, then go an hour early. Just take your time.
Here's the other part. I'm assuming maybe you'll drive to the game.
Don't drive
if
to the
you
game.
eat at Greta, the
Your parking.
parking underground is like $6.
Yeah, it's super cheap.
It's it's not that far of a walk, but you're not that close.
If you
but-
cannot drive to the game, do that.
There is
Yeah, if
just
you're not
the
driving.
traffic that the construction downtown is terrible. It's pricey to park pretty much anywhere. Find a different way to get downtown.
All
Ubers are nice.
Moving along. Tyler, you're up first. The Oilers blow another multi-goal lead, but you're allowed to legally throw one object on the ice. What are you throwing? That one comes in from Alan.
What am I throwing?
Don't forget, this has to be like with you at the seat.
Yep.
So
You
I
can't go grab a kitchen sink from somewhere.
So I can't go get like a carton of eggs.
No.
I don't.
Unless you have it with you.
Unless you bring them in.
A shoe's kind of funny.
A shoe
just
would
one
fly.
shoe.
A shoe would fly.
I can't believe it hasn't happened yet, but I'm going to throw a jug of oil.
But you don't have that on you.
Yes, he does.
Well, he prepped.
Bringing it.
It's
Okay.
completely legal for me to do it too. So there you go.
How do you imagine the fucking delay while they try to get all the oil off the ice?
Just
I was just
saying.
thinking like the container with the lid on still as it explodes over now. Okay, I see where we're going up there.
Yeah.
It's-
Liam, what are you chucking?
Oh man, not a lot because food. You guys know me.
Like I'm going to get arrested if somebody throws oil on
ice.
ice.
We made a lot of content of that guy that
He's got
threw
a
the
package of
nachos in
noodles.
the
He's got
playoffs
a
last
package
year.
of noodles in his
Yeah.
pocket. That's what's going on
Well,
there.
you're throwing that. You're
Nachos
buying
on
those
it.
shit.
Waffles
noodles, by
has
the
been
way.
done.
I like a shoe idea. Definitely not jersey. Too expensive. A lot of
Yeah,
things
can't
are too
throw
expensive. Banana peel.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that a banana?
Rick, what are you chucking?
The shoe is probably the best one just because it's there. But if I can't do that, I want to get it out there. It's going to have to be a bottle of something, like a can or a bottle of pop. Probably, yeah, go for the pop because it's a little bit cheaper.
I'm doing the Wanye pants on the ice.
Dude, I was sitting there beside him when he was like considering it. He's like, how fast do you think we get out of here?
If you know that joke, you've been around a long time. All right, we're going to jump in. Dan, you're up next. This one comes in from Ben. You're forced to live in Rogers Place for the entire season,
No
or
problem.
as long as you can. You get free food and the Wi-Fi, but no sunlight. How long do you think you could last in there before you lose your mind and have to leave?
Man, I think I could do it the whole season because I'd be able to like run around that concourse, burn off all the energy I need. You'd be around people.
Bro, they have a full gym downstairs.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. And I would sneak up into that luxury suite that it sits high atop the arena.
So-
And I would be in there all the
I
time.
can go anywhere and not get in trouble, or do I have to sneak around?
No, you can go anywhere.
Oh yeah, I'm fine all year then. Right, sweet stuff.
Easily.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Very
I think
good.
I could last all
that
year.
place is way cool.
And for the record, the no sun thing, there's a ton of sun on the concourse there. I'm not going outside. I'm not getting fresh air, perhaps.
That would be the tough part. Fresh air.
I could last a long time. I'm not worried about the sunlight because in the winter it's gone before I leave work anyway. What the
I-
difference be?
Also, like if you're giving me free reign, can you imagine if like every Sunday for NFL football you have Red Zone on the jumbotron and you're sitting in a luxury suite like crushing beers?
It'd be amazing.
Fucking awesome. This would be such a good life.
All righty.
He's really contemplating it right now.
It'd be
Oilers, it'd be great content. Amber, I'll see you in a year.
great. Like I think of when we went on that stadium tour at Cowboy Stadium and they were talking about the Jonas Brothers playing Mario Kart on the big screen.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
Playing some vids, watching TV.
Or easily.
Just
Come on,
no
no
issues
issues at all.
underneath. The ones that you look up
You can just go
underneath.
there
Yeah,
and
just sitting in there.
Rip pucks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
just
no
go skate
problem.
around.
From the player bench.
Fiddle with the iPads on the bench. That's what I'd be
You
doing.
have to go to every game.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you can't kick me out.
All right, Liam, starting with you.
Okay.
This one comes in from Brendan. The NHL adds a new rule called the Patrick Steffen Award for most embarrassing goal. Which goal in recent memory or in the past do you think should win the award?
Most embarrassing goal?
Yeah, goal against.
Oh, goal. Okay. Well, I mean, the Rasmus Anderson one against you.
That's my answer. Not close.
But also, we just had one like 2 days ago, which is pretty close. Blake Coleman coming in on when the puck isn't being
Did you not
covered?
see the one from last night?
Oh, I thought it was just Oilers.
Oh, it could be whatever you want. I
Oh,
guess.
I mean, yeah, that one was bad.
Yeah.
Djokovic.
I didn't see it. What happened?
He just dumped it in from the blue line.
Cool.
But so right before that, San Jose couldn't score on an empty net.
Yeah.
Vegas came down, scored, sent it to overtime. It was like 20 seconds left or whatever.
And then, that overtime.
And then
piece.
in overtime, Nugent-Hopkins in the San Jose goal came out to the blue line.
For no reason.
For no reason.
Did not Dominic Hasek and throw the legs up
Yeah.
and try and take him down. I don't know what he was thinking.
It just came out. The Vegas player took it around him, scored on the empty net. But before the puck even went in, Djokovic just turned around and started skiing away.
That's awesome. I got to find this replay.
Oh, it was bad. That'd be mine, Rasmus Anderson.
Mine's easy.
What do you got, Rick?
Okay, so first of all, I think this should be a non-goal because the Patrick Steffen play was a non-goal. And
But
there's
the goal against, though, was very embarrassing.
it's a nice goal.
For him, though, yeah.
For
Yeah.
him, very embarrassing.
He was definitely the reason why it turned over, but the 1-2-3 pass was beauty. There was a penalty shot or perhaps a breakaway by a right-handed player for the St. Louis Blues, and he came in and he heel picks.
Oh, he ate shit. Yeah.
It is perhaps the most embarrassing. Like, it's way worse than the Patrick Steffen thing. And I literally, for me, I can't remember the player, but it's
Was it Brad Boyes?
I just remember
it's
the
a right-handed shot, and he's like, his feet go wide,
He
and I think
yeeted
he
himself into
heel
the corner.
picks, and it's around the top of the circles, and it is terrible.
Dan or Tyler, you got a most embarrassing goal that comes to mind?
I just went right back to the Chris Russell whacking the puck off of, I think it was Kadri's stick and into our net against the Flames because we were up, I think in that game 5-3 or 5-4. And then that happened.
Did you see the one last night in the Flames game where they rang it off Kevin Ball's head and he sprung out to Lekamaki, I think whoever it was, and he just fired into an empty net. Oh, he was Cheadle.
Oh, man.
It was awesome.
Tyler, what do you got?
I'm reminded of this one where Brad Marchand just skated over the puck. He just touched it and missed it. That one's good. But remember when Vesa Toskala got scored on from the other goal line? It was like 20 years ago, probably with the Leafs. And it was just a clean slap shot from the other blue line that went right under his glove.
There's a
Who
couple.
was it, Rick?
Dennis Weidman.
Oh, it's Dennis Weidman.
Yeah, he goes left, right. And when he goes right, he heel picks and both legs shoot up off the ground.
There's a couple that I think of. One is, I don't remember who scored it on him, but Dan Cloutier used to get scored on from center ice a lot. And there was some clean clappers from center that would just rip past Dan.
Yeah, they were like
Cloutier.
playoff games too.
Yeah. That was when he was in Vancouver. And
Yeah, I
then
can see
just to be a
Detroit
little
in my
bit
head for some
different,
reason.
this happened last year, but Leon sinking one on Marc-Andre Fleury from the other end of the
That
ice.
was insane.
It just took the weirdest bounce, and then Fleury tried to swing at it and went through the wickets, and that was one of the weirdest goals Leon will ever score. There you go. Ask the idiots. Submit your questions, slide on into my DMs. The boys don't see them. In the meantime, go to Swiss Don't Air. Wrap up the podcast with some hot and cold performers. Now we got to put the pressure on Reese to get the buttons ready.
Get ready.
Producer Reese is going to be hitting the buttons. We'll see what happens. Tyler's got confused eyebrows. What's going on?
I want to make sure the speakers are on so we can hear them.
All right. Well, while you do that, I will read the plug. Oh, we don't have a plug. Nationgear.ca. That's easy. Go check out nationgear.ca. That's where we keep all our events, travel, nation vacations, things like that. We good? All right. We're good. Nationgear.ca. Go check it out. All right. What we do is always start with the veggies. Start with Rick. You're right in front of me. Cold Preformer of the week.
Well, people aren't going to like this one, and this one really upset me, and it's from Wednesday. Kind of why the loss doesn't bother me as much from that night, because I think it's kind of deserving for a good chunk of the people that were in the building. It was the very first game. The last game we played was the Stanley Cup final.
Mm-hmm.
Brand new team. Well, not brand new team, but a lot of good players back. An opportunity for us to show our appreciation and say, hey, we're ready for a new season. They did the player announcement. I obviously was standing.
Of course.
Nobody fucking stood till Connor. So Leon Draisaitl comes out. Everyone's sitting on their fucking hands. I honestly think that we lost that game because of all those people, and they deserved that L. Stand up, show your appreciation. The only person that got the standing ovation, and it was not super duper quick. He was probably around the blue line before everyone got up, was for Connor. But that was if you want to do that, take the jersey off, go find a blue and white one, sit on your hands at Toronto like the rest of them. That's not what we do here.
Good.
Are you thrilled? I'm not.
He's not.
Reese not thrilled.
Hand up. I wasn't standing for any of the player intros because I walked in the building as Connor was getting introduced. I was watching the Jays.
Hand up. I was watching the Jays game.
Jays was on my phone.
Also hilarious crowd pop for the new goalie coach. Very funny.
That was good.
Only in Edmonton does that shit happen where they know the goalie coach. Liam, cold performer of the week.
My cold performer of the week. I don't really have one, to be honest. I've had a really good week. It's been nice. Hockey's back.
Surely there's something in
Friday night, no NHL hockey. What am I going to do? Nothing. Reese hit the button. Anything's good. You're damn straight.
there. Dan, cold performer of the week.
Mine's going to go out to the Sportsnet Plus AI helper. Had a decent conversation with him last night, trying to get him to help me out. Gord, try to get him help me out with the stream that I was unable to watch because it said I had multiple devices watching. Well, I didn't have any devices watching, but Gord offered to let me speak to a human agent if I'd like to. I asked to speak to said human agent, and then Gord said, sorry, I couldn't find a good answer for your question. And that was the end of it. That was the end of our conversation. So AI, Sportsnet, your support gets my cold performer of the week.
Oh, that's cold.
You should be able to go in and see what your. So I have this issue with DAZN sometimes, and you can just go in there and like
You can boot it away.
What devices are connected? Well, you sure can't with Sportsnet, and Gord ain't helping at all.
10 out of 10.
By the way, I'm just watching this OT winner from last night. What was he doing?
Yeah, but did you see the tying goal?
Yeah, I did.
It's all bad.
Very unnecessary.
All bad.
Anyway, Tyler, cold performer of the week.
My cold performer of the week is the Colorado Avalanche once again using Nordiques jerseys. You take a franchise from a city, you do not then get to wear their jerseys and make money off of them. It's bad form. Cold performer of the week, Avalanche.
My cold performer of the week. Listen, I love the Edmonton Oilers. I really do. But there was a time when you would go to a season opener and they would give you a gift. Sometimes it was a toque or a little scarf, maybe.
Scarf or a flag.
Sometimes you get something nice, maybe a towel. This year I walk in and I go, I wonder what we're going to get on our seats for the season opener. And what was it? A fucking 2-foot thing of material that you're supposed to wrap around your wrist.
They had to put instructions on it.
Oh, is
no
it
one-
for your wrist?
Yes.
Yeah, you're supposed
to like a terrible towel. Like
terrible towel.
There's legit.
This is why.
There's instructions on the back of it on how to use it.
Everyone around me put them on
Tie.
their heads.
Yeah.
So that's what I was. That's what I was saying to Dan when I was just like,
Headbands.
the only thing that happened, Rambos everywhere.
Oh, also someone took mine, so I didn't get one. But I literally looked around and like, if it's a good giveaway, I'm like, I didn't get one. Like you can go and be like, hey, there wasn't one on my seat. I literally was like, not even worth the effort.
Yeah, that's fair.
So the Oilers again, you jacked up the price of tickets 15% this year and you gave a little piece of fabric as the season opener gift. Come on.
We have been
Thank you.
hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray,
Stephen A. knows.
run amok, and flat out deceived.
Same organization that brought you foldable paper hockey helmets for Fan Appreciation Night last year. You've made millions on millions of dollars over the last 2 playoff runs and continue to jack up prices. Foldable paper hockey helmet with a giant Pepsi logo on
Invest the money in Bitcoin and then take it out every year and spend it on us.
it. Like you can
Yes.
do the math on how much, like,
Or just take some of that 50-50 money, allegedly, in my opinion.
yeah, I mean, the whole thing. I mean, love the Oilers, but
I love the Oilers. But when I was excited to get some kind of little gift,
Yeah, I assumed a scarf.
Jets fans got toques. And then Kyle Connor scored a hat trick. Everyone threw their toques on the ice.
that's awesome.
Like, good, we can use
If
these next
somebody
year.
had thrown or gotten a hat trick, I couldn't have thrown my fabric.
And like even
Would've
that
made it.
too, like
You'd have tied around a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
actual towels, no, it would have been too expensive, too much material. Little thin wrist.
That
Bad.
literally no one used them for their purpose. It was Rambos everywhere or just in the pocket like mine was.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible.
Anyway, I'm glad you guys also felt it because I was like, what the fuck is this? All right. Positive news now. Reversing the order. Tyler, you're up first. Hot performer of the week.
So many positives about this Toronto Blue Jays team. I love them so very much. But I wanted to make my hot performer of the week this week. Nathan Lucas spent 10 years playing in the minors without getting called up. 2 years ago told his wife, he said, we're going to give her one more year and then I'm retiring. Like I can't do, an 11th year in the minors. Jays called him up during that season, sparked him a little bit, ended up making the opening day roster. This year, 65 RBIs during the season, and he had that big 2-run single in Game 4. He bats 2-hole. He bats second on the best team in the American League. It's unbelievable.
Gets on base.
So, Nathan Lucas, hot performer of the week. What a start.
hot guy.
And
He's a hot guy.
very good looking.
Yeah, handsome. Dan, hot performer of the week.
Well, I want to give a shout out to all the teachers out there that are on strike right now. Hot performer there, but I'm going to give it to Connor McDavid for signing that contract this week. It was awesome to watch the reaction around the league and see everybody else have the meltdowns that they've had since then. And as the boys mentioned, honestly, it's just really nice as an Oilers fan to be able to exhale because one of those things went our way.
Woo! Friday, baby. Yeah, let's celebrate Friday. Woo!
With no hockey.
With no hockey, yep.
I'm gonna watch highlights from yesterday. My hot performer of the week comes from Elliot Freeman. Adrian Kempe and the LA Kings are not close on a new deal.
The big guy is
So happy with
smoking
himself.
hot.
He's gonna be an Oiler. I can see it already. I'm gonna buy a jersey
right now.
He's so good.
He is.
Only
He's
30.
really good.
Huh?
It's only 30, fits right in.
I'd pay him anything.
More of a Tage Thompson guy.
Why not both?
I think we can probably add both those sizable contracts in the next 3 years. And if Tage is out there, I'm more than all in on that one. Could you imagine a right-handed goal scorer like him with that type of size playing with those?
Can you imagine Oilers are down a goal and they're like, all right, fuck it. Connor Leon Tage, go. Goal every time.
Coach just gets bored. All right, you 3 go.
Yeah.
Ricardo, hot from the week.
Well, I'm gonna lean on Tyler here, kind of go off of what he had there. First of all, Ernie in that series, absolutely insanity what his batting average was.
So when he had the game 2 that he did, and like game 3, I'm talking to Amber. I'm like, Amber, like I know ball. Players don't have games like that back to back. Then he had a second one. I was like, Amber, listen, I know ball. Players,
They ain't gonna have another one.
like when you have a heater, the slump comes soon after. Guys just don't go like 11 for 12, Amber. And Amber's like, you got to believe. And sure shit.
And then we're gonna add on. You might be the only one who knows this name, David Tompkins.
I know David Hopkins. How dare you?
I give you credit.
He's one of the major reasons why this season happened.
But the biggest thing for me was I'm gonna give it to Trey because when the batter called timeout and he held his position with ball in glove and didn't move, waited for him to reset, pitched relatively quickly because he was already there, and then struck him out. That was awesome.
Can you imagine the batter being like timeout and then you're like, okay, he hasn't
He's
moved.
still in the same spot.
And then like you kind of do your thing. You think about what he's going to throw you. Then the second your feet are in the box and you look, he's just like, yeah, here we go.
He did not
92
move.
mile an hour splitter off the
Didn't
face of the earth.
flinch. You call timeout, and sometimes a pitcher will step off the mound pissed off. This dude just held his position, didn't budge.
I like this right here.
What was that, Reese? Go ahead.
Hit it again.
I like this right here.
No, is that you?
No, I think I actually know what that is. We might want to get rid of that button.
I like how you asked if that was me though, Liam.
There's a few on that. That are you?
Yeah. Might want to clear that one out.
I can record a new one for you after the show, Reese.
I've got 2, and it's because I'm selfish. Number 1,
I took 3.
da Yankees lose.
That was great.
The best.
So good.
Watching Poppy troll the other 2 on the panel was just the best, and then him and Vladdy doing it post game, amazing.
But then his team got knocked out by those 2 before, but I dig it.
I just love that, and I talked about this with Tyler a bunch yesterday on Real Life and even before. The 3 of them, they're there as analysts. They're supposed to be unbiased
Down the middle.
but they are not.
Oh, God,
and they
no.
weren't even trying to hide it. And I loved it. My actual hot and cold performer, though, is I didn't get to talk about this really anywhere this week. Ryder and Lisa announcement from Monday. That kind of got buried in the McDavid news, but the sauce with Ryder and Lisa starts here at ON starting in early November. So we got a new show coming with 2 people that I've been very excited to work with for a very long time. So to get this come together and have them starting in November is very exciting. And our man Reese is going to be producing that show. So he's going to be excited about that too.
Congrats.
Cash money.
Cash money indeed.
I've never heard any of these buttons before. Why did you just add those on, Reese?
Well, because there's
They've been around for a while.
I like this right here that I've been avoiding.
I guess you were usually in charge of the buttons.
Uh-huh.
I think I've been in now 5 years and I've never ever heard that one.
It's, I think, also,
Well, one of the news stories has been carrying on for a minute.
Oh,
Probably a
boy.
couple more years now.
All right. Oilers, Canucks tomorrow. Score prediction, Tyler.
6-2 Oilers.
Dan, what do you got?
5-4 Oilers in overtime.
Liam.
5-2 Oilers.
Damn it. 4-1 Edmonton.
I'm going back to Old Faithful, 4-2 Oilers.
All right.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.